Hey everybody, welcome back to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for different reviews of whiskeys such as bourbons, rye, American style whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads and live streams. If you're already a supporter and subscriber to the channel, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate all your support. So today we're going to be doing a review of Split Rock Distilling. This is their 100% organic bourbon whiskey. Let's take a closer look at this one. Here we have Split Rock Distilling out of Newcastle, Maine. This is their certified organic bourbon. So the organic type of designation isn't something you see very often in the bourbon world. So that's kind of interesting that they're going through the whole process to make sure that everything that they're putting into this bottle is certified as organic. So again, this is Split Rock Distilling out of Newcastle, Maine. So we'll kind of go through a little bit of information regarding their information. So the name Split Rock basically comes from a road that the master distillers used to kind of travel on just about every day between each of their homes. So hence the name Split Rock Distilling. So that's always interesting when you can kind of link something to something interesting. It's special to them, and thus the name Split Rock Distilling. So regarding the bourbon itself, so this is a 4-grain mash bill. So this is made up of 60% corn, 20% wheat, 15% malted barley, and 5% rye. So that will be a nice kind of interesting profile. There's a lot more 4 grains that we're starting to see kind of pop up these days, which gives a really nice, unique, different profile to bourbon. So this is something that's also finished in 10-gallon newly charred oak barrels. So they're concentrating the bourbon in a smaller barrel, putting it into basically a little more contact, with the barrel, trying to pull out some of that color, the flavors, things along those lines. So proof on this, 88 proof or 44% ABV. This one, which is, I believe, batch 9, this is aged up to 16 months. Before, I think they were indicating that maybe pretty soon, the early part of 2019, they were going to be releasing their straight bourbon whiskey. So that will be nice to see maybe some of the changes and stuff that kind of happen with a little extra age to it. So MSRP on this, from what I could find, was about $52.99. Could vary depending on where you are, in the States. So typically what I try to do with most or all of the reviews is we'll go through the appearance, we'll go through the nose, the taste, the finish, and then really any kind of general information from there. So, all right, let's get into the review. So as you can see, kind of a really nice, like light bronze, copper type of note to, or color to that. So, all right, let's see what we've got appearance-wise, or nose-wise, excuse me. So right away, you're picking up some of that youth, that corn is present. Some honey. Definitely pulling out some of that cinnamon that's there. Kind of a citrus note, more of like a lemon than an orange type of note. A little bit of light oak to it. And again, with those 10-gallon barrels, it's kind of, like a concentrate. I mean, it's really, putting a lot of liquid into a, you know, a small place. So it's really trying to, you know, get a lot of contact there so it can, you know, get a lot of color, some of the flavors, pull that stuff out of those barrels. So, but yeah, it's really, the more I kind of nose it, the more cinnamon really wants to kind of come through. A little bit of a buttery type of note to that as well. Definitely a little bit of oak. Some dark fruits kind of wanting to come through. More of like a blackberry or a raspberry. Yeah, nice kind of nose to it. That's very you know, cinnamon, you know, dominant for the most part. So let's give this a try. Cheers. All right, so we'll take another sip, get the palate a little bit coated, get a better idea of kind of really what it is you're tasting. My initial thought is, you know, really very little heat at only 88 proof. You're not getting a ton of heat to that. I would say right away, it's got a really nice mouthfeel to it. Wants to coat the mouth fairly well, even for a relatively young bourbon. Coats the mouth really well, nice and kind of oily. Kind of a sweet corn type of note to it. That cinnamon's still there, like I was getting on the nose. Little bit of a leather type of note to it as well. Again, that zest is kind of wanting to come through a little bit on it. There's this, I'll say kind of there's this little bit of a bitterness, but I think that's more of the zest than anything. Some of that oak is wanting to come through. Very drinkable, little heat, nice oak, a little bit of leather is there as well. Still nice mouthfeel, creamy to it. I think they've done a good job from the standpoint of, generally speaking, with something that is, you know, only in that, you know, 16 months or age less than 2 years. It's really, really grainy, and this is not that. There's way more flavor, which probably lends itself to the quality of the product. You know, again, how they're producing it. But yeah, very little graininess to it. You know, nice and approachable. As the finish begins to kind of develop, there's a little bit of a leather type of note that's kind of wanting to come through. Not super dry, little dryness to it, but not too bad. But the finish is fairly sweet. It's leaving you with this kind of like creamy, like butter note to it, which is really nice. It's interesting. But yeah, really overall, I think it's a really nice, you know, bourbon. I don't want to even classify it necessarily as just a young bourbon. It's a pretty good, you know, straightforward, you know, bourbon. I think they've done a nice job. I'd be very interested to see this product specifically, as it begins to age more, what that profile really kind of becomes. I'll be interested to see what it is that they're really trying to kind of pick out. But I think as a base, it's really a nice, you know, sipping bourbon. Really, really nice and just very approachable. This would be one of those bourbons that if you were gonna get somebody or introduce someone to a bourbon and it was gonna be very approachable, this would be something that you could definitely give somebody. It's not going to blow them away with heat or anything like that. I think it's got a really good flavor profile to it. Really nice job. So, yeah, it's one of those ones that you're very interested to see what the product will do, you know, in another, you know, year or two, you know, and beyond. So. Yeah, it's fairly sweet. That nice corn sweetness to it. Balanced oak. Yeah, I think they've done a really nice job with it. So again, I'll have, you know, information to the distillery link below. So if you want to check them out, see maybe where you can, you know, pick up the product. And like I do with all of my reviews, I'm always interested to know, has anybody, you know, tried this, you know, whether it's, you know, at your home, in a bar, anything. I'm always interested to know if people have experienced, you know, this particular whiskey or bourbon, your thoughts on that. So, you know, leave some comments below if it's something that you've had before, and are you picking up some of the same things I do or something different? That's always the important part of me with a review. I'm always interested to know, you know, what other people are trying and tasting, you know, things along those lines. So again, I'll have all the information, you know, to the distillery link below. Regarding my channel, again, I'll have the Patreon page. So if you want to contribute or support the channel, you can there for as little as $1. It all goes a long way. Greatly appreciate any support. Again, comments, thumbs up, you know, really all of that information. So, you know, like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers, and go check out Split Rock Distilling out of Newcastle, Maine. Cheers.